Right, we're here with Travis Mills from the Victorian Speed Car Drivers Association. Good afternoon, Travis. How are you?
Yeah, very well, mate. Very well. Raring to go.
Right, you won the first ever Skip Memorial, and in a magnanimous gesture, you immediately gave the trophy back to Flux. Was that something you thought about before, or just a spur of the moment?
No, it was mentioned before. We got to the dice to accept the trophy, and I just found it was fitting. I thought Flux would really treasure that, being obviously, well, not only the first one, but something for his son Skip. It just seemed like the right thing to do.
And of course, you would have known Skip for a long, long time. Your father, John Mills, was a former racer of very high standard, and Flux has been around forever, so your family's been around the sport as well, so you would have known him for a long time anyway.
Oh, I've known Skip ever since we were kids, ever pretty much since Skip got out of nappies, I think. So, we've known each other basically our whole lives, so to be, win the first one's definitely special. It was really good.
Was there that little bit extra emotion because of who it was for?
Oh, definitely, yeah. When it's one of your fellow racers and someone you've known your whole life, and just he was heavily involved in the club and the quarter midget club that my son races in, so there was a lot of ties there. So, it was a special one to win, probably one of the best ones I've won for sure.
Right, the season so far for you started out with a win early on in the season, but then a few of the interstate guys have really come down here and picked all the money. But the last couple of weeks, you've been back to great form.
Yeah, we struggled early on in the season for sure, and probably since Christmas we put a new car together over Christmas, and since that point we've really started to feel comfortable again and get back to sort of where we think we should be. And obviously the test is the interstaters, but this club now down here, it's not easy to win a heat race, let alone a final. So if you can win anything down here nowadays with the level of competition that's here, you've done a good job.
You're probably like me because of your family involvement. I can remember, back when this club used to run at Melbourne Speed Bowl every second week, and the numbers were huge. Speed Bowl closed down, the guys had to travel, and they didn't want to do that, and the numbers really, really dived. And at times, there's been half a dozen cars. So it's got to be very heartening for you to have endured through all that and see how it's growing now.
Oh, it is. It's great to see. I've been in the club ever since I was a kid, and obviously I was there at the Speed Bowl days. I was very young, but got to see great fields of cars, and then as you say, it diminished, and they've gone through a lot of tough years, but I think one of the things that definitely has helped with the numbers is Jeff Drew and the support that he's shown speed cars, constantly putting us on every season and giving us as many meetings as he can. And as you say, the guys don't have to travel as far, so they can come into a speed car and go, hey, we're going to get some good quality racing only just down the road. And we all know that speed cars are a great little class, but it does hurt the numbers when you've got to travel big distances.
Is that frustrating for someone like yourself? I mean, you live up at Echuca, so no matter where you go, you've got a couple of hours drive just to start with. And then we saw, we were here at Avalon a few weeks ago, we had a great field. Then a week later we're at Nyora, and the numbers were still good, but not what they are here tonight. Does that frustrate you personally?
It doesn't frustrate me. I understand it because the travel, and we probably do the most travelling out of a lot of teams in Australia, let alone Victoria. So we understand that it costs to travel, motels, all that kind of stuff. So and this is where a home track, I guess you could call this for us. It's proof in the pudding. As soon as we're here, our numbers jump up, and it's just great to see 20 plus cars rocking up here. Every week we're here. It's awesome.
One other thing I want to just touch on. As we mentioned earlier, your dad, John Mills, was one of the legends in Victoria, along with Ray Naughty Bishop. Those two guys had some huge battles over the years. In the early days when you started out, you would have been in his shadow a little. You've since really, you've come out of that with no doubt, an Australian Compact Speed Car Championship and massive results just for yourself. How do you feel now? Was that ever an issue for you?
Early on, that's why I took number 10 instead of 11, because I didn't want to be in his shoes. So, no, I never really felt any pressure, but there's obviously, Dad's achieved a lot in his racing career. I wanted to achieve as much as I could achieve, and as it's turned out, we've had a good career. A lot of wins, a lot of losses, a lot of crashes, as probably he did. But I think I've forged my own career and built my own name, and that I can be proud of. So.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there. So, who would you say is is the Ray Noddy Bishop to your dad?
I think for me, you're talking. At the moment, for me, look, there's a lot. Paul Farrell's been a tough competitor for me, especially over the last 3 or 4 years. Mark Brown had a lot of good battles with him before he unfortunately hung up the boots, and I think now young Caden is going to be the next one that I'm going to have a lot of battles with.
I was just going to say that his son, so another third generation racer, is here tonight as well, and he did very well last time here, didn't he? So he's going to be a big challenge for you tonight, do you think?
Oh, definitely. I think he's probably one of the main ones. He's, for his age, is putting together some super consistent laps, doesn't make too many mistakes. He'll be up there, but I think there's Domain Ramsey and Paul Farrell and Andy Pearson. They're all going to be somewhere thereabouts.
And the club, what does it mean to you exactly, just from your personal point of view?
It's basically my life. I've been involved in it my whole life, and I've been on the committee for 5 years. So it's in my heart, and when I go interstate, I race for Victoria, and I think that I wear that as a bit of a badge of honour, and I represent Victoria, so I'm very proud to be a Victorian, and we love being involved in the club.
Now, as the son of a speed car racer, is fairly natural that you would gravitate towards it, but what is it about speed cars that keeps you here and stops you from looking at other things? I know you had a little bit of a play with a sprint car, but obviously there's something about the speed cars that you just love.
Yeah, I love driving the cars. They're just so much fun to drive, so I think I think it probably suits my driving style just naturally. So it was always a bit of a natural gravitation to come back to speed cars. As you say, we've tried a few other classes, but speed cars for me, out of all the classes I've run, are by far the most fun, for sure.
I have to agree with you on that one. Congratulations and good luck tonight.
Yeah, cheers, thank you. Ta.
Have you heard of Australian Highline magazine? It's Australia's only totally free online digital speedway racing magazine. It's full of big, beautiful action and artistic images from some of Australia's best motorsport photographers. It's got national and international events, profiles, tech articles, history, comment, and occasional controversial article, all penned by some of the sport's leading journalists and columnists, and it's all free. Australian Highline magazine. Have a read today.